You're listening to KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine.
The opinions and views expressed in this program do not reflect those of KUCI, its management, or the UC Board of Regents. To find out more about this talk show or other talk shows broadcasting on KUCI, log on to our website at kuci.org or check out the latest program guide.
This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Atwater Village Theater for the Echo Theater Company's presentation of What Happened When.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Daniel Talbot. I'm the playwright of What Happened When.
So, question: why did you decide to write this piece?
It was a one act that Rattlestick commissioned. Rattlestick in New York, which is an off-Broadway theater company. They commissioned it maybe 10 years ago, and it was staged as a one act. The final scene, it was about 64 pages. The final scene, it's about my family. It's about my brothers and sisters and my mom, and then it just never felt complete. And so then Rattlestick gave me another shot to work on it again, and that's when I added in the sister and the other 6 scenes, and it suddenly felt like it was more of like a comprehensive play, if that makes sense at all.
If my viewers decide to come by and see this, what should they expect to see?
You know, this is not a play that is going to be entertaining. This is not a musical. It's not a play. I think I said somewhere in the press packet, I wrote a thing about it where I said, to me, it's almost like a meditation on abuse and loss and hopefully redemption. It's very meditative. It's very contemplative. It's very quiet. It expects you to come sit with it, and it's not going to come out and kind of shake your hand and do a dance for you, if that makes sense at all. It's very much a meditation to me. It's a prayer to me in a funny way. And so it's kind of to sit in a room full of loss and to get to ask questions about your own family and sit with ghosts in a funny way. If that's what I hope it is. It's very Buddhist to me in a funny way, which I don't know if that's helpful, but you know.
This reminds me of my childhood. There was this kid, right? We would be at the community center, and this kid, his father was the town drunk. Yeah. He gambled away his money. Didn't give his kids anything. I mean, they wore the same clothes every single day. Their shoes would be worn out. Yeah. We were his friend. We tried to be his friend, but we were never his friend. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like if we have to talk to someone about our problems, we would never talk to that guy. Yeah. I mean, we would always be nicer, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. When we grew up, we went our own separate ways. We would keep in contact with our friends. He grew up and became an accountant. Did a good job. But we're not his friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I moved around a lot as a kid, and this is based on a town where all the kids were kind of the town drunks kids, because it was a whole mountain town full of town drunks and meth addicts and welfare cases, and so we all were those kids in that town. So really the play to me is very much about my brothers and sisters. It's very much about the kids I grew up with, and kind of I hope it's in a way to honor them, because I love those kids and I understand the struggle of those kids, and I know what it's like to feel the kid that everyone else looks at and is like, oh, that kid's a piece of shit, or his family's a piece of shit. And it's really hard, and it takes a lot to climb the mountain out of that. And so I wanted to write a play that talked like those people and sounded like those people and honored the people that I love so much who helped me grow up and kind of have the life that I have today, if that makes sense. So I was one of those kids. I get it. It's funny to be where I am now, and I guess you always kind of feel like you're one of those kids, even when you crawl out of it, if that makes sense at all. So
yeah, back to that kid. He didn't choose his father. Yeah. I mean, he didn't choose that. He didn't choose the situation. He couldn't control the situation he was in. He was a project, you know what I mean? We were his friend, because he was a nice guy. Yeah. Nice guy. If we needed anything, he'd be there. If anyone had to move, he'd show up and help us all move and all that. Yeah. So he was kind of one of us, but you know what I mean? It was just none of the girls would go out with him. You know what I mean? It's like everyone knew except for him. And again, I just don't know what to say.
I guarantee you he knew, and he was just wanted to kind of be one of you guys, you know what I mean? And you never want that. You never want that for your family. You never want that for the people you love. But the gods or God or whatever hands you the cards you're dealt, and you have to play those cards. And I feel lucky that I had people in my life who helped me play the right cards, because I have a lot of friends who did not play the right cards, who are still very much trapped in that play, if that makes sense. And when I was in New York, a couple of my friends came out to see the show from that town, and one of them got up in the middle of the show and couldn't watch the show. He lasted like 15 minutes, and he's like a dude. Like, these guys are guys. These guys don't go to the theater. These guys are like construction workers and like beer guts and like, like the kids I grew up with. And he couldn't watch the play, and it's the first time in my life I'd ever seen him emotional. And I'd been at funerals with this kid. I'd been like, and he couldn't talk, and we actually didn't talk for like 2 months, not in a bad way, but he just couldn't speak to me for a while. And then he wrote me this amazing letter that I keep, that means a lot to me. And so I feel like, even if it's not entertaining, even if I didn't get right in some other way, like, I got it right for those guys, and so that means something to me, and it means the most to me. And I hope I get it right for everybody. You always want to like hit a home run, right? But I was proud that it meant something to them, that I was able to kind of hopefully capture something for them and stuff. So.
Well, I really enjoyed myself tonight. It was very sobering. You don't see this in theater everywhere. It was honest and it was very shocking.
Thank you.
And I really hope my viewers come by and see this piece.
It means a lot. Thank you so much for being here. Seriously. Thanks for having me in LA. I really love being here. So I hope I get to do it again.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much, man.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with...
I'm Chris Stack. Thank you for being here. I'm thrilled to be working at the Echo Theater on this beautiful play, What Happened When, by Daniel Talbot, and the cast, Randall Clute and Ellen Neary. It's a fabulous evening.
And which character do you play?
I play Will, who's the oldest of three siblings. My take on Will is that he's a fighter. He's a scrapper, like all of us. You have a load on your shoulders, and you carry it. And you, by hook or by crook, you sometimes have bad ideas, and sometimes you have good ideas. But they're all ideas, and survival is the key.
This reminds me of a kid who basically was, the community center when we were all kids. I grew up in San Francisco, the city. This kid, his father was the town drunk. He would gamble away all his money. When this kid went to college, this guy didn't give him any money for college. He wouldn't give him any money for food. And, we tried to be this kid's friend. We let him hang around with us. Anytime we went out to the movies, he would come too, if he had enough money for a ticket. But we were never his friend, you know what I mean?
It's hard to trust. It can be hard to trust, especially when you grow up in an environment like that where people take for themselves. And it's about survival, and you want to help your family, but you look out for number one first. I think when you grow up like that, it becomes hard to trust other people. So it becomes hard to let other people in. When people take from you all the time, it becomes hard, if not impossible, to actually give.
What do you think about these people who says, no, you're responsible for your own situations. If you do drugs, that was your decision. If you start smoking, that was your decision. Everyone has the same choices in life. It's what you do. If you were given a bad hand, it's what you do with your hand that shows you're a winner or not. What do you think about people who say things like that?
I think that fits really nicely on a bumper sticker, and I think that to a certain extent it's true. It's just a lot harder for some people than it is for others.
I love this piece, and I love your side of it. You are a true anti-hero because you are playing this tough character who was just beaten up by people you shouldn't have been beaten up by, and you responded really truthfully. So I really loved your acting.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's a phenomenal role. Daniel Talbot, who's the writer, is. I hesitate to say fearless because I think that's too easy. I think what makes him a beautiful writer is that he's very afraid and he goes ahead and he does it anyway, and that's really inspiring. And I think anybody who says that they're fearless is full of it.
Well, I really enjoyed myself tonight. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
How you doing? Randall Clute. For Ricky, I'm just happy to be here, man. Happy to be performing for everybody that's going through something.
Okay, and which character you play tonight?
I'm playing the character of Jimmy. He's a hurt soul. He's being abandoned. Has a lot of guilt under his belt. I think he has a lot of things he wishes to say to people, and I just think he's a loving character.
He handled things differently. He didn't fight back. He didn't say, "Okay, I'm going to start sleeping around. I'm going to start." He said, "Okay, no, I'm going to work. I'm going to, just study. I'm going to do the best I can."
I think a lot of it is for Jimmy is just for his accepting is really just coming to accept himself and accept what's happening, what's in his life, and the things he's facing. And I think he's just trying to push through it and just trying to find himself at the same time, and that thing that can hit him in the gut and make him feel like I need to come out of this. So I think he speaks for anybody who's kind of going through something like that.
If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
A roller coaster of laughs and a lot of pain, but a lot of acceptance of just things everyone goes through.
Yeah, I agree again, because even people who basically have had this white bread life, they've had problems in their lives, or at least they know they have friends like that. Because I remember when I was growing up, up in San Francisco, we went to the community center. There was one kid I always remember. His father was the town drunk, and he was like, we always felt uncomfortable around him. I mean, he was a nice guy. He wouldn't swear. He wouldn't he'd get in fights. He wasn't on drugs. He studied, got good grades. No, got okay grades and all that, but he was never really one of us. If we really had a problem, we wouldn't go to him to talk. If he had problems, we really didn't want him talking to us. You know what I mean? He was there. We were acquaintances, but he was never really our friend. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean. I think everybody at the end of the day is going through something, and people are complicated, and there's a lot more than what meets their eyes, and people can only see so much, you know what I mean? So, I think that's why it's good and important to just kind of be nice to everybody and accept everybody. And for me, this is a big lesson for me, and just a big heart warmer for me to just, everybody has something. Everybody's related in some way, and to connect everybody and let everybody know it doesn't matter if it's the same type of situation you're going through, there's something, and someone will relate. And I think that's, all of us coming together and seeing that's the main goal.
What do you think about some of these people who says, you're responsible for whatever you do. If you take drugs, it was your choice. Basically, no one forced you to steal, no one forced you to shoplift. You have to take responsibility for yourself. But for people like this who actually were in a cycle of abuse or poverty, that's very unfair to say that to them. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's different for everybody, but I think in those kinds of situations, accepting and just accepting. The word accept has a lot. That answers your question right there. If you just, accept, and you do take responsibility, all of us go through stuff, but actually fighting it and experiencing it and, kind of going to battle with it and accepting it, learning to really know what it is. I think, everybody grows from it, and it is a responsibility, but it's an easier way. And I think everybody kind of does that and will get to that with their own problems in life. So.
Okay, well, I really loved the performance. I loved your performance. You were actually perfect in it. You were perfect for the part. I was very moved by it.
That's so sweet of you, man. I appreciate that.
All right, thank you very much for being on the show.
Great. Thank you, man.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
I'm Ellen. I live in K-Town with my two cats. Just finished our opening night of What Happened When. So excited. It was so great.
So which character did you play?
I played Sam, the the middle child, the daughter. She just wants everything to work out, but nothing ever seems to. She doesn't know how to help her brothers, but they are her favorite people in the world. She loves them so much, but she just can't figure out a way to save them or herself.
If my viewers decide to come and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see something raw and vulnerable and like real life, and everything is on the stage and nothing is left to interpretation.
When I looked at this, it was almost like therapy, where basically some people talk about their messed up childhood, their parents and all that, and some people don't have very good parents. I mean, some people don't have good parents.
Some people don't. That's their life. And they're just showing you exactly what their life is. And nothing is cookie cutter. Nothing's, sugar on top. It's just all is real. And you don't always see that with plays, which is why I love this one.
Yeah, because it's like these kids, it's not their fault. How could you choose your parents?
Yeah,
how could you choose your situation? Some people say, no, you choose your situation. Yeah. You choose your destiny. You take whatever hand you are dealt with and you just do the best you can with it. That's really not a fair thing to say.
It's not, because you don't get chosen into what you're born into, and you don't. I mean, life does happen to you, but that's not your fault, and you don't always know what to do when life, comes your way, and the choices you make are your choices. But I think people get blamed so much for their choices, and how would you know what to do if it's the first thing that's happened to you? You don't know what to do. Yeah.
Again, I thought it was very shocking. I love the piece. I love your acting in it also.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
What Happened When will be playing at the Atwater Village Theater from April 12th to the 26th, from July 25th to August 23rd, and from September 26th to October 18th. For more information, go to www.echotheatercompany.com. This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Lounge Theater for the West Coast premiere of The Intimacy Effect.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm at KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Tony Christopher. Come and see The Intimacy Effect.
Okay, and which character did you play?
I played Amy Appel. She's a woman that really has to take a stand for her daughter. Yeah.
Okay. I like a lot of beginning actors who listen to my show. What I like to do is I like to ask some questions to professionals. Yeah. My question this show is stage directions.
Sure.
Yeah. How do you handle stage directions on a script? Do you just forget them because the audience is never going to see them? What are your thoughts on that?
If they're serving my dialogue or if they're serving the story, yes. But then that's when your director comes in and helps you craft your blocking and and find your home on the set, for sure.
Yeah, but if it says, well, you're supposed to be sad right now and you just forgot that, I mean, what happens?
That's the beauty and the awesomeness and the magic of live theater. We can try it tomorrow night if I messed up.
Okay. Yeah. No. Question about this particular piece. If my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Drama, capital D.
Okay.
Yes.
I must admit, as a man, I felt very uncomfortable about this piece. Yeah, because it talks a little bit about, sexual harassment, talked a little bit about, again, being a jerk as a man, a little bit about anger, too, and problems with marriage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I like that it made you uncomfortable. I think it should make everybody uncomfortable, and I'd be interested if there was a female right here, I'd ask if she felt uncomfortable, because that's the gift of this show, is the uncomfortability.
Yeah, but it's also it's true to life for everybody. It's like, this could happen to my brother, to me, to my sister. It could happen to her, my neighbor right here,
Yeah, that's what that's what we want with the show, is that you're witnessing a dinner party through a keyhole that happens 70 minutes on a Sunday night in June. You shouldn't be watching this stuff, and you sharing that you're uncomfortable. Thank you. That was the best compliment that we could receive. Thank you.
Great, awesome. So basically, I love the performance. I loved you. Great. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm at KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Jordana Oberman. I am thrilled to be participating and acting in The Intimacy Effect at the Lounge Theater right now.
And which character did you play?
I'm playing Merrily, and she has a pretty epic journey in this one, where she actually starts off the play as a very happily married woman, and it slowly disintegrates as the play goes on, as she realizes things that are going down.
Okay, so what's your take on Merrily?
I think my take on Merrily is that there is a whole slew of women out there that are finding things out about their partners, and it's going from the outside world, and suddenly there's something that happens behind the doors of like an internal home, and that moment of realization is real, and it's messy, and it's ugly, but it's honest. And I think those conversations are unfortunately happening a lot.
My question for this week is stage directions. First of all, what are stage directions? You pick up a script, there's stage directions. What are that?
So stage directions are a couple different things. One is their information from the playwright themselves. The other thing is their notes from the stage manager for the very first production of it. So it's really to the actor to discern which ones they want to really listen to versus which ones they feel like are just someone else's choices. And then whichever ones you decide to keep, you want to be able to really integrate and rationalize within your craft so that they're not just something you're doing, but there's always a reason behind doing them.
Right, so a stage direction would be like, you're sad right now, you know, turn to your neighbor and sigh, you know, like that?
Right, yeah, absolutely. It also could be like Merrily steps into the room and suddenly sees for the first time. So then as an actor, for my own process, I go, okay, I know in that moment, I need to make sure my motivation has me stepping into the room, and then something catches me in that moment, and then I have to figure out the impact of what I'm seeing for the first time. So I'm not just doing the action, but it's actually grounded in some sort of reality. Yeah.
So I know you have to memorize your line. That's a lot of work, but no one's going to know the stage room. Can you just ignore them and forget them?
You can. It has everything to do with respect for the playwright and whatever your director's choices are in the room. So, like, if you're working a scene for scene study or for class, throw them out the window. It doesn't really matter unless the text demands it, right? If you have a stage direction that says, oh my God, I need another drink, and then no other drink shows up, even though the stage direction says you go get another drink, the text is saying go get that drink. But when you're in a play, you need to collaborate with your actual director, and if the playwright's in the room, with them as well.
Right, now back to the story.
Yeah.
As a man, I felt very uncomfortable with this story. I felt it's talking about abuse. It's talking about women. Very unflattering to men. And what are your thoughts on that?
I think that we're in a time where things are uncomfortable, and the only way to move through it is to have this dialogue and actually have a moment where we can sit in that honesty and say it's okay to be uncomfortable, but we still have to talk about it and identify what's happening, because the only way we'll get through it is any kind of dialogue that we can actually have with each other. So I honor that being uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable thing, and yet it still exists. So we got to deal with that.
I've also always heard the comment that all men are jerks. Women tell that, their mothers tell that to their daughters. Men are just jerks. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I think generalizations are terrifying no matter which way you put them. So I think that we have to be open to humans as they are, and we need to deal with the person who's standing in front of us and deal with their behavior rather than putting a blanket statement about any gender, any creed, any race, any human. They're individuals.
Well, I love the performance. I loved you in the performance. And also, this was a topic in which it just hits a lot of all men. It hits all men, hits all women.
Yeah.
It's a topic that just hits everybody.
Yeah. I think that's the thing, is there's a universality to it that is really intense. Everyone in every fashion experiences contact with other human beings. So therefore, everyone gets touched.
All right, once again, I loved the performance. I loved you. Also, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashley Marcus. I'm KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Cassidy Schultz. I live in West Hollywood, and I'm having a really great time performing in the Intimacy Effect, and I think everybody should come out and see it.
And which character did you play?
I played Jennifer. Jennifer is a girl just like me, You know, she likes to go out and have fun, and she finds herself in a little bit of a pickle.
Yeah, if my viewers decide to come out and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
They should expect to see a lot of drama, a good family drama. You know, Jennifer tends to be the catalyst, whether she knows it or not. So there's a lot of unexpectedness with every character. They don't know what's going on until they're in the moment, and it's like a OMG.
I have a question about stage directions. When you first start doing acting, when you see stage directions on a script, what goes through your mind? How do you handle that? Can you just forget them because no one's ever going to see them? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I tend to ignore all the stage directions that I see in the script because, I mean, every stage is going to be different. The director will have different choices. The actor will want different choices. The stage directions give you an idea of where the scene's going to go, but ultimately I think it's a conversation between the director and the actor, and you find that moment in the moment.
How about when they express an emotions, like you're supposed to be sad right now? I mean, and you've got so many lines. Can you just forget that? Was I supposed to be sad? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So with emotion, it's not just like, oh, you are sad right here. It's every emotion is a journey, and every emotion follows another emotion. And so at one second you could be embarrassed, but then after embarrassment comes anger or sadness, devastation. And so it's this constant wave that's just, or like a yarn that's unraveling, and it just unravels and unravels and unravels, and you just find new moments.
Okay, so back to the story. It's a story basically about, I guess, infidelity. It's a lot of the harassment that's going on with men and women and all that. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, yes. There's a gray area with this conversation, and I think it's an important thing to discuss, and I think it's also very important to acknowledge that, there is a harassment, and out of harassment can come a lot of pain, and whether or not either party thinks that they're doing something wrong, in the moment, there could be a true tragedy behind something that seems like innocent and fun for one person. It could ruin someone else's life.
Well, I thought this piece was very exciting. I thought, again, it was kind of a little, how should I put it? I wouldn't say scary, but as a man, I felt very uncomfortable with this.
Yes, I can imagine. So, it kind of like puts the hammer on the nail, and then it just keeps on pounding it in. So I can definitely see how men can be a little intimidated. And for some women, it might be like a hoorah moment, and I think this can trigger a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I love the performance. I loved you in it also. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
The Intimacy Effect will be playing at the Lounge Theater from April 13th to May 6th. For more information, go to www.theintimacyeffect.brownpapertickets.com.